everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Tuesday and it is October 11th. Thank you for joining us. We have one meeting to tell you about, and that is going to be this morning around 9:30, shortly following our morning broadcast of This Day. And that will be the United Board Annual Organizational Meeting, and that will be in the boardroom virtually as well as televised. And if you would like to follow along virtually, you would go to lagunawoodsvillage.com/meetings for that particular meeting. All right, let's tell you who's on our show. Well, we have Director of General Services, Robert Carroll, who is going to talk to us about our transportation. He's got lots of great information for us, and I think you're going to stick around for that. And then we have Pat Micone, who is here on behalf of the Republican Club. They are going to have some election parties, and they're going to do all the research for you about who to vote for and what to do about some of the propositions. So we'll stay tuned for that information. All right, let's take a look at our weather. Well, we are still cloudy this morning, and we're going to be cloudy every morning for a couple of days. But take a look at these numbers. After the clearing, we're looking at about 75, 65, 76, 64, 77, 65, 77, 66, and then we take a nice jump on Saturday for a couple of days of nice warm weather, 84, 53. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:53, and our sunset will be at 6:22. And we have some great information for you to stay informed. There will be a town hall meeting for the new fire station. Now, this is in addition to Fire Station 22. They're going to have that on October 12th. That's tomorrow night at 5:30. And that'll be at Laguna Woods City Hall. You must RSVP by today, and it must be before noon. So get in on the town hall meeting at 949-639-0500. And you will need to RSVP before noon today. All right, stick around. When we come back, we will have Robert Carroll. Stay tuned.
Are you struggling to hear in your noisy dining room? Do you have to pause and think about what people are saying so you can figure out the words? Do you find yourself lost in conversations? Can you hear, but you don't understand the words people are saying? You need to get on the Ark. No, not Noah's Ark. This is Stewart's Ark hearing aids with artificial intelligence. You will never know how much better you can hear until you listen to the clear sound and noise right in our office. Call us today. Don't miss the boat, and tell them Stewart sent you.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Diane's Hallmark in Laguna Niguel is now an Elam's Hallmark, and we are excited to be part of your community. We have just remodeled, and you will be surprised by the wide variety of fashion and accessories, home decor, collectibles, Disney, Peanuts, Harry Potter, and Star Wars, along with the largest Hallmark card selection in town. Stop in today and sign up for our Crown Rewards program and get a free Just Because card. Once a member, you can get a free card once a month. Elam's Hallmark, your neighborhood gift store.
Time to play by your own rules. It's out with the old way of getting older and in with the new age of celebrating your age. At Alignment Health, senior health care is all we do. Our Medicare Advantage plans are leading the charge, so you can be the one in charge.
I love being in charge.
Because life should be a celebration, not a resignation. Welcome to a new era of aging. Alignment Health Plan.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, we have Robert Carroll, who is our Director of General Services, and he's got some great information for us today. Well, welcome. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Good morning. Good to be here.
Thanks for coming back. And this is a whole different thing because General Services really encompasses a variety of different things for the village. So, you know, since we're on that subject, tell me a little bit about what the organization is responsible for, the department.
Right. Yeah. So if you go to the first slide here, this is a general organizational chart, and this is a presentation I made to the VMS board about a month ago. You know, we had done so many budget presentations that I really wanted to really focus on not just the overview, but what the accomplishments of the department have been. So this first organizational chart here shows, you know, a good overview of what we do. In general services admin, that's where we manage the trash, you know, the solid waste recycling programs, and streets and sidewalks. So in addition to you know, sidewalk streets, that's where we have the street sweeping. We have some welding services in there, and then janitorial, both for the mutuals and for GRF facilities. We handle all the janitorial within the village. And then we have our transportation department in 970. So the you know, the fixed route system, the journey system, our boost or the lift program is all under transportation. And then we oversee fleet maintenance as well. So you know, we got 2 shifts, a morning shift and a swing shift that service all our vehicles so that when the guys come in, the cars are ready to go. And then we have some, this is kind of an overview of our budget as well. We have some funding in the service center and the community center for some, you know, maintenance type items.
Okay.
And then one thing I really wanted to stress in talking about the accomplishments is, you know, since in the 9 months I've been here, I've been really impressed and really happy with the staff and how much they care and how much they're trying to do a good job. So we'll see throughout the presentation here, we'll see that and how the staff have really been able to accomplish some great things for the village. So I'm really pleased, been really pleased with that. This slide here, just a quick overview on our department revenue. We're not a huge revenue generating department, but you know, we try to be creative. So just you know, a couple examples on here. The third line item down there, we have the Arizona Pipeline agreement, and that's just a company, a local company here, Arizona Pipeline, that does underground service for Edison currently. They needed some rental space, and we had some space over at the yard. And they're paying us the $33,000 a year just to store some of their equipment. It's space that we weren't really using. And you'll see in here a couple items related to Agewell parking agreement, $26,000. And again, just a little extra space that we had. Agewell needed room to park their buses. So we allow them to do that. They pay us $26,000 a year. Makes it a little more crowded for us, but we manage, and that's some good revenue for the village. And then you'll see a couple more items in here related to Agewell, the Agewell fuel admin fee. So Agewell, since they park their buses at our lot, they also fuel the buses there. Okay. So we give them a discounted rate on the fuel that we buy. We don't supplement it at all. They pay 100% for the fuel, and then we charge them a fuel admin fee. So we share the admin costs with them, the cost of the fuel island and the maintenance and all that. And on top of that, so we get an extra $10,000, almost $11,000 a year, just for allowing them to use our pumps. So it's just wanted to highlight some of those high points there.
Yep, that's great. That's great. And then, so you have a waste and recycling program that we had talked about the last time you were on with CR&R. And you want to talk to us a little bit about some of those things.
Right, yeah. So again, we feel this is a big accomplishment for our department in 2022, transitioning to a new hauler from waste management to CR&R. Anytime you do that, it's a huge undertaking. Right. And it wasn't, you know, they're never smooth. It wasn't as smooth as we had liked, but, you know, we worked, and the staff got the program working much smoother now. We implemented a new organics recycling program in response to Senate Bill 1383. So, you know, we have, you know, carts placed throughout the village. I'll get into more on that in a little bit. We implemented new, more efficient bulky item collection programs. So instead of only being able to put your bulky items out once a month, you could do it once a week. on your trash day.
Yeah.
So that's a big benefit at no additional cost there. And then we're coordinating the replacement of tall bins with low profile bins. And when CR&R took over the contract, they bought the trash bins that were available on the market. And they're a little bit taller and you know, a little bit less convenient for residents to reach in there. So we did get some complaints on that. So what CR&R did is they went out and bought all their raw material, sheet metal, casters, lids, and started welding and putting their own bins together.
Interesting, okay.
And we had a list of residents who had called for those low profile bins, and we rolled them out into the community to make it more convenient for residents. So that took some work.
Do they like them better?
They like them better. They're
good.
much more convenient.
Okay.
Also in the spring, we got our results for the waste evaluation. So basically the results on, are we doing our due diligence in recycling? Are we being effective with our recycling programs?
Yeah.
So, and we're, especially for the organics program being new, we're doing pretty good.
Oh, that's
so
great.
that was good to hear.
Good. Okay, perfect. And then the organics recycling program, which is something I know we had talked about, because a lot of people, you know, they have that little bin that they can use, right? And we'll
Correct.
talk a little bit about that in the next slide because of the bags. But go ahead and tell me about the actual program itself.
Right. So Senate Bill 1383 it requires the cities to reduce organic waste disposal by 75% by the year 2025. So that's a big goal. So in response to that, we placed 220 organic carts throughout the community, and they're serviced on Wednesdays. And then one of the questions that we get, Lisa, quite often is related to the yard clippings. Because what we'll see is residents will do their gardening and then they'll fill the bin with their yard clippings, and then other residents can't deposit their organics. So what we're strongly encouraging is if you have a small shovel or so of yard clippings, go ahead and put those in the organics cart. But if you have more than that, if you have some that can be picked up by landscape services, we're really encouraging residents to call in to resident services and schedule a Friday clippings pickup.
Okay.
And yes, and our landscape department will come, pick up all those clippings, and then they process them, and then they reuse them throughout the community. So it's a closed system. None of it goes to the landfill. It's a great program. And then that leaves room for your neighbors to put their organics in the cart.
Okay.
And then another thing we're doing in response to the organics program is we're developing a multi-story trash enclosure cleaning program. One thing with organics is, you know, if people miss, they put them in the bin, they fall on the floor. It is a little bit of a dirty process, so we were noticing that. And especially in the enclosed trash enclosures, you know, anytime you have anything, any odors, they're gonna hang out in that trash enclosure. And so we're implementing a program. We're gonna be kicking it off in January, an annual pressure washing of those multi-story trash enclosures. Do a good thorough dusting and web removal, and then also do a good inspection of the carts and the bins. So that's another problem we have. If there's a cracked cart and it's leaking, that's going to create a mess on the floor.
Right. Okay.
And then just another reminder for residents, if there's a missed pickup or a full bin and there's any type of problem, feel free to email CR&R at Laguna Woods Recycles at crnrmail.com or call the phone number on the screen there.
Perfect, perfect. And then let's touch quickly on the compostable bags, because I want to make sure we get to transportation in the time that we have. So the bags we talked about last time were these really cool little bags that you said degrade to hummus and CO2 and water within 180 days, which is awesome.
Right.
So where are they available?
Right. So you can get them online currently on Amazon.com, HomeDepot.com, similar websites. And the thing I really want to stress about the compostable bags is, you know, the organics recycling, it can get a little messy. There are odors involved. So we really strongly encourage the use of compostable bags.
Yeah.
Seal them up, drop them in the bin, and help make it cleaner.
And only those, because otherwise they're really not 100% compostable.
Correct.
All right, transportation. There was a lot of town halls regarding what was going on with that, with Age Well. So tell me about what happened.
Correct, yeah. So we had the Age Well proposal that the village was considering. We had 3 Age Well transportation informational sessions that residents were invited to come and attend. So that took some effort on behalf of staff, and then we completed a age-well proposal analysis, basically just to review the pros and cons of the proposal and shared information with the GRF in regards to that.
Okay, great. And then the next slide will show a little bit of what that proposal analysis looked like. And, you can just give us a brief overview of, what you found.
Right, so just in general, we wanted to make sure we did a good analysis to present. So we had a group of VMS employees evaluate the proposal. We did a cost comparison. We looked at the all-inclusive cost of vehicle maintenance and capital costs, insurance and liability costs, and just made sure we did a good top-to-bottom review so that the board had the information they needed to make a decision.
And the overall decision was that it really wasn't going to work out going with age-well, so you made some modifications with our own transportation.
Yeah, so the decision was we're going to stick with the status quo. Again, we currently have the fixed route system, the journey, the program, and the lift, and we're going to continue to monitor it. And, it's right there by my office. If I hear anything going wrong, I'm within an earshot to go out and talk to somebody, quality control, that type of thing.
Okay.
So we're going to continue with that.
Excellent. And then tell me about when you took a look at all of the different types of vehicles that we were using. I mean, there was some, you call it right sizing assessment. What does that mean?
Right, so we did a right sizing assessment. So, as our organization changes in size, as functions change, it's always a good idea to take a look at your fleet, right? You don't want to have too many cars. You want to make sure you have the right vehicles, and not only cars, pieces of equipment. We have 260 vehicles roughly and about 160 specialty pieces of equipment. So we want to make sure we have the right number of equipment to do the job and in the right pieces. Right? So what we found with the fleet right sizing assessment, we identified 11 vehicles that can be eliminated over the next 4 years with an estimated savings of $478,000.
Wow.
We identified 10 vehicles that can be downgraded to a different class of vehicle. So for example, an F-250 big 3/4 ton truck with a lot of towing capacity, we identified some of those that can be downgraded to a smaller Ford Ranger, more efficient, less gas expense, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And then we identified 6 vehicles that can be pooled with other work centers and repurposed with an estimated savings of $38,000. So,
that's great.
over $600,000 over the next 4 years.
Wow.
And then we're committing through our vehicle replacement policy to complete this exercise every 2 years.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. That's a great idea. And then streets and sidewalks, there's some changes that happened there.
Right, just some projects that Streets and Sidewalks worked on. They worked on the Calle Sonora project, including red curb painting and a new sign installation. You may be familiar with the golf cart path improvements over by Clubhouse 7 and Gate 7. And then we secured funding to relocate 40 benches throughout the community to benefit our vision impaired residents.
Okay.
So we're going to get started on that project here pretty soon as well.
That's great. And then one last thing, you've got janitorial, but I love it, 100% of ticket requests within 20 days.
Right, this is another great work center. I mean, we get requests come in, residents, there's a spill or something that's, needs to be addressed right away, and these guys jump on it. They're really responsive, really proud of all of our custodians. As you mentioned, they've completed 100% of the ticket requests within 20 days.
Yeah.
An average of 1 day response time.
That's great.
And then, as I mentioned, we're implementing the multi-story trash enclosure program. That's going to be through our custodians, and real proud of these guys and the job that they do for the village.
Great. Well, good job for the first, 9 months that you've been
9
here?
months. Been here 9 months.
Good job. Well, I think you've done a great job. Thank you so much for
I
the information.
appreciate that. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. And if you have any questions or comments about the information that we've shared with you, you can always send an email to generalmanager@vmsinc.org, and it will be directed to the appropriate person. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, today we have Pat Mycone here on behalf of the Republican Club. Well, welcome. Nice to see you.
Oh, nice to see you too, Lisa. Thanks so much for having us.
You're welcome. And I know your club has been very busy, and of course you've got some upcoming things, which is great because we are in election season and the midterms are right around the corner.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the events that you are having. I think it's a great idea to have a couple of informational meetings where you can learn a lot about what's going on.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. We thought too, because sitting home and looking at that ballot, we know from our own experience, it's very difficult. Right. And especially, I mean, it's one thing to look through the candidates, we can kind of go online, but it's really hard, like the judges and the propositions and the initiatives, they are the most difficult. So our group, we have a small committee of women and men who get together and we do the research and we go to certain approved sites like Nancy's Picks and we kind of bring the recommendations together.
Okay.
And then we're going to have what we call ballot marking parties.
Okay.
And at these parties, there are going to be 2 of them. Last year we had standing room only, so we're having 2 this year.
Okay.
And at that group, people come, they bring their ballot. We go through every candidate and every role and proposition.
Okay.
And then we have discussion, and at the end of the meeting, they can go out and they feel pretty confident about, a little more confident, maybe not totally, but confident.
I think that's good because, like you said, you know, when you look at some of these initiatives, it's very difficult to feel whether or not you're for or against, given the arguments that are printed in some of this information. So that's great that you do the research.
Yes.
So the first one will be on Saturday, October 15th, and then the next one is October 29th, but you're having both, is that correct?
Yes, we're having 2, like I said, because we had great demand. And we're kind of separating them. Some people can't come to the first, so hopefully they'll be able to come to the second. Okay. And they also, another thing I just want to add, we are also going to put our voting recommendations in the Globe every week.
Oh, okay.
Of the elections. So our people can go there and also if
now everybody's received, well, maybe not everybody, but the majority of people have received their ballot, or at least the information.
They receive the information over the weekend, and the ballots will be coming out October 10th or 11th, around that time.
Okay, good. So at least you'll get a jump on some of it. Okay, good. So October 15th, they should have everything they need to be informed. So that's the first one. Then, of course, the next one is the 29th. And it's at Restaurant 19 from 1:30 to 3.
Yes.
No charge.
No charge.
I love it.
Our service, public service.
That's good. You know,
what we want to do.
I just want to talk about a little bit about why you're doing this. I mean, obviously, it's a little confusing. And also, you want to bring kind of people together to sort of figure out what we need to do going forward.
Yes. I mean, we know these are difficult times. The stakes are high. And people are looking at what's happening in our country, and they want to bring our country together. We're the greatest country in the world, and yet we want to preserve those freedoms and those things that made our country so great. So we do want to reach out to all the villagers to hopefully help us.
Well, help you, and then also to learn.
Yes, yes, inform and engage. That's what we like to do.
Inform and engage, perfect. Okay, so let's talk about another event that you're having, which is going to be right before the election. That is going to be on November 4th, and that is your general meeting at Clubhouse 5.
Yes.
Tell me about your speaker.
Brad Dacus, he is the president of Pacific Justice Institute. He actually lives here in Rancho Santa Margarita.
Okay.
He has a legal defense organization, it's a 501(c) that specializes in defending religious freedom, parental rights, and other civil liberties. And the unique thing about him, Lisa, is he does it without charge.
Wow.
I know. They really focus on, they have more cases defending family and faith on the West Coast than any other organization of its kind.
Wow.
And their goal is that everyone will get represented. Everyone will get the help they need. And they are involved in cases of law that typically other law firms won't pick up. So we've had him before, and he comes and he updates us on the cases that he's handling. And we've enjoyed him in the past, and I know we will in the future. So I'm hoping, we have almost 350 members in our club now, Lisa.
Oh, that's good.
And we have about 150 come to the meetings, which is incredible.
Wow, that is great.
and we enjoy it. We have lunch, and we've now opened up, if people want to come and just listen to the speaker only, they can do so with only $5.
Oh, okay, good. So you can, of course, come for just the meeting without the food, or of course, if you would like to also have food. What is the charge for that?
It's $35 for non-members, and if you're a member, it's $30, and over the year you save about $60 if you're a member of our club. And all that money goes to supporting all of our fabulous events and activities we do.
Yeah, you guys are going to be busy. So you have the 3 events. You've got the one on the 15th, the one on the 29th, and of course the one on the 4th.
Yes.
You know, as you mentioned, you want to bring everybody together, but as a whole, tell me a little bit about, you know, what the Republican Club stands for, what their mission is.
Our mission, well, first of all, Republican, you know, began with Abraham Lincoln. He was the first Republican. And we're preserving and upholding the Constitution of the United States. The Bill of Rights protects our freedoms, freedom of religion, freedom to assemble, freedom of free speech, which is right now under assault and attack with censorship. And of course, we don't want to censor bad things, but we don't want our free speech censored. But we want to support all the people in our village who are Republicans. We want to support the candidates in our state, locally, county, state, and nationwide. And that is kind of our mission and our goal. And all the funds we raise support those activities. So membership, and anytime people come and support our club.
Well, perfect. Well, you guys have your hands full. There's a lot going on. And I know you mentioned that you'll be posting your recommendations in the Globe as well each week.
Yes.
Okay.
And people can just go to the Globe and check out information about our meetings. That's always in the Globe.
Okay.
And on our website.
And on your website, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate the information.
Well, Lisa, thanks so much for having us. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
God bless.
And of course, if you want more information about the 3 events that we mentioned, you can always go to the Republican Club of Laguna Woods.org. We'll be right back.
We are the first light after a cancer diagnosis.
The illuminated entry point to life-saving cancer therapies and novel treatments
often sought by the rest of the world.
We are a dedicated team of more than 400 physicians
and 1,000 scientists and researchers.
We are cancer-focused, but human-centric.
We are thousands of breakthrough discoveries.
We are where cancer stops.
And life keeps on getting lived.
The future of cancer treatment is here.
Have a great day in the Village. We will be back again tomorrow right here on Village Television at 9 a.m. And don't forget, we have the special United Organizational meeting coming up right after our morning broadcast of ThisDay. Have a great day. Bye-bye.